Hey everybody, how we doing? John Anthony, Chair Shot Sports, a sport code affiliate is always powered by Zone Energy, especially for WrestleMania week and weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. Night 2 is in the books. WrestleMania 2025 is in the books. Yeah, I think we all have a little bit to say about tonight's events and also the main event as well. So we're going to get right into it. So before I do that, let me introduce the panel here. Everything Baltimore, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, my man Matt Trigger, that's my man right here for it. How we doing, Matt?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me back again tonight. It was fantastic doing the show with you guys last night, and excited to wrap up night 2.
Mm-hmm. Awesome, man. Great to have you back. Thank you so much. And whether it's drama you like here in the Squared Circle or if it's drama you like catching on daytime or nighttime TV, my man Vinny here, Suds and Squared Circle, is joining us as well. Vinny, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Been a very long couple of days, and I'm psyched, man. I'm psyched. It was WrestleMania is our Super Bowl. WrestleMania is the time to reset and renew. So, hey, I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. As always, my partner in crime, whether it's on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays, Jesse B, Princess Skywalker. Jesse, how's it going?
Good. Glad to be here tonight. Wrap up WrestleMania, finish up the weekend, and go over all the fun stuff.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. And last but certainly not least, one half of the Run-In podcast and show on YouTube on every Thursday. Somewhere right now, Sped is so happy throwing a party for Dom winning the IC title. My man, Big Mike. Mike, how's it going?
Going good, man. Good night of wrestling. A little bit notwithstanding, but ready to talk about it and ready to go.
Awesome. So I think we all have something to talk about, whether it was a main event or something you saw that happened tonight. Let's jump right into it. So I'm going to be pretty quick. I'm not going to analyze the stuff in the middle of the matches, the moves, stuff like that. Obviously, all the matches slap. We'll talk about it, get to the finish, and just let you guys have an open forum on how we feel about it. So opening up, obviously, triple threat match for the WWE World Women's Championship. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Hell of a match. The girls showed out. Great. It was awesome. A lot of false finishes. Very excited. I think it was an awesome match. But at the end of the day, Io Sky walking out, retaining at WrestleMania. It was wild, too, because all three women were either 3-0 in triple threat matches, 3-0 in championship matches, or 4-0 at WrestleMania. Someone's had to go, and Io's walking out 4-0 in triple threat matches now. So, yeah. So, awesome match. Io's champion. I'll start with you, Vinny. Thoughts?
I did not like the match. I know I'm in the minority there. I felt like the match, anything doing with Io Sky has to be too choreographed. I feel like there were a lot of spots in there, especially with Io coming off the top rope at times and, hitting both Bianca and Rhea where you can visibly see them, getting into position, setting up or what have you. I really feel they ruined this match by putting Io in there and it should have just been Rhea versus Bianca. I was really hoping Rhea would have won. I didn't like it. I don't usually like I haven't really liked Io's matches since for a while now. So I know I'm in the minority. I understand she's athletic, but I don't like the fact that it's blatantly over choreographed.
Awesome. No, those are very good observations. I think whenever Bianca's in a match, I've said this before, the excuse I've gotten is, well, she's so overly athletic and so much faster than everyone else. That's why she kind of turns around and does one of these. It's almost like calling the spot, like blatantly in front of everybody. And like, well, she's just so much faster. Like, no, she's literally calling the spot.
But even still, it's like you could say, come on, I'm here. Come get me. It's like that could be worked into the story of the match. But
I can tell you one thing, though. Neither one of those women call any shots louder than John Cena during a match.
No, you're absolutely right.
Thank you, Vin. Appreciate it. Mike, what are some of your thoughts on the match?
And I get Vinny said he's in the minority. I'm a complete opposite. I loved this match. I loved every second of it. I picked Rhea Ripley to win. I wanted Rhea to win because I'm a huge Rhea fan, but it makes sense for Io to win the way they've kind of been pushing her to the side. I think I said on one of our shows that to me, it made the most sense for her to win because if she lost, then she might as well have left the company as much as they were pushing her to the side, trying to make her an afterthought. It really made too much sense to let her win. But yeah, best women's match of WrestleMania. to me. Obviously, there's a couple other matches that I liked a lot as well, but to me, I loved it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it was a great overall. I think it was a good match. Vinny has some great points, though. I mean, as far as if you're a wrestling fan, you're watching it, the aesthetics of it, the technicality where you're watching everything going on. I totally get where Vinny's coming from as well. But Mike has a great point too. They definitely, the spots were good. Everything was. So I liked it.
And
Jesse,
I'm with you too. Sorry, not to
right,
interrupt. I'm with you too. Like a lot of that is Bianca looking back. She does that in a lot of her matches.
Yeah,
and again, I won't go with the same excuse, but I mean, she does look back a lot. Like she's trying to find a spot, or you're maybe calling a spot or whatever. So that may have been a lot of what was seen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't put all that on you.
No, I agree with that. Jesse, your thoughts on the women's match today, opening up Mania?
I thought it was a great opening match. I think they did a great job getting everybody hyped up, ready to go. It was a good choice for an opener. They did a good job. I mean, in my opinion, it was a great match. I understand what Vinny's saying, though, about it being very choreographed, because I did notice some of that in the ring, too, where they were waiting for spots or just making it blatantly obvious to me. But it was all in all a good match. I picked Io to win. She was one of my 2 picks that I got right tonight because I totally bombed tonight. But it was a good match.
No, I agree. I don't think anyone here on this panel is saying it's easy. I mean, I wrestled for a little bit. I know it sucks, but I mean, you want to try to have something keep a little kayfabe. Like you don't want to go crazy. You might as well just be yelling, I poke, do it again, blatantly loud. Like I'm not saying, none of us are saying it's easy. But there needs to be some sort of like couth with it and some kind of like masking it a little bit. You can't just blatantly be out there doing it. Like we know it's scripted, but Jesus, like make it a little believable for everybody. Last but not least, Matt, what are your thoughts?
Second best match of the weekend.
There we go.
I disagree with Vinny. For the it being a bad match. Honestly, those 3 put on a hell of a show, and I'm not trying to make an excuse for the over choreographed. I do agree with that part, but it's 3 people in there. It's you get that whenever you have more than a one-on-one match. Anyway, everybody's got to get their spots. So you got to find a little bit of balance. There's going to be a little bit of clunkiness. There's going to be a couple of spot calling type of situations or anticipation that's blatantly obvious, but they arguably should have closed the show tonight. How good they were. That was a fantastic match.
I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that.
I will agree with you on that. I believe that. I'm not saying the match wasn't good. I'm saying watching it, just you can tell when they were just getting into position for spots rather than it looking natural. That's all. It was a great match nonetheless. I'm not saying it wasn't, and it was much better than the main event.
To be fair, though, I would take that over what Charlotte pulled with Tiffany last night.
Yes.
Well, none of those girls were sandbagging, so I mean, it was
right. But I'm saying at both women's titles matches, that blew away Tiffany and Charlotte.
Yeah, and Mike has a great point too. You wait for the headlocks, you wait for you're doing a submission close to head on head, like you wait for that kind of stuff to kind of talk about it. Old school stuff.
Unless you're John.
Awesome.
Not Anthony.
What happened?
I said unless you're John Cena, not Anthony.
I knew how to do it. You do it with like the hand thing like this. You do it like against the ear. You don't just again. I poke. Awesome. So yeah, I think overall, I was happy with the outcome. I mean, I picked EO, but like Mike, I know you and me shared a brain on this. Like I know Jesse talked about it too. It just she loses here. Like you might as well just send her back down to TNA and just whatever we're doing here. Like it didn't make any sense. We had to win here. So good to see it. Tomorrow night's gonna be awesome. To see what happens on the Fallout. And then we go back over to the gents. We got Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Sin City Street Fight. It was good. The spots were good. I feel like some of the spots we already saw on TV already were done. It was good. It wasn't anything that blew me away. I mean, I picked Drew to win. I just figured this was the one spot where he can afford to get a win. Priest can lose here and still be okay. It was an okay street fight. I wanted a little more stuff, and not for nothing too. anytime it's street fights, I really wish they had taken it like outside the ring, outside the arena. Go backstage. When's the last time you've gone backstage with any of this shit? Like, go outside. Jesus, do something. Like, make it. I thought in Vegas they'd go outside or do something, but it is what it is. But I think it was a good match. Drew gets the win here. How are we feeling about all that? Jesse, I'll start with you.
Fight. Yeah, making an actual street fight. Like, they didn't even leave the ringside. Like, that's not a street fight. Like, you should be in the back. You should be in the stands. You should be going through the concessions. Like, it should be all over the place. A street fight should not just be primarily fought in the ring. Was that it was just in the ring the whole time, and they didn't really do a street fight. It was just a match. It was like a non-disqualification match, basically, is what it ended up. It wasn't a damn street fight. I mean, it was a good match. I had a feeling Drew was going to win when he came out first, because that seems to be the theme of WrestleMania, is that if you come out first, not every match, but most of them, you were going to win. So all in all, it was a good match.
Awesome. Vinny can appreciate this. Mike, don't. As far as the hardcore titles, going out in the snow, baby, taking that bad boy outside. Those are the good old days, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, but that's I want to see maybe I'm not a fiend for it, but I would like to see a little blood, a little something else going on. Obviously the Claymore to the chair was a pretty good move to get the 1, 2, 3, but I just wanted to see a little more violence, I guess, a little more. Matt, what are your thoughts?
For a match that I wasn't sure about on our preview show, it was okay. My expectations weren't high, so I was pleasantly surprised. These dudes are both tough. They're both big dudes, and they like to beat the shit out of each other. So I'm cool with that. I mean, I can kind of agree to the sentiment that you didn't incorporate anything, street in a street fight. It was a hardcore match. That's all it was. It's called a hardcore match. I mean, the Vegas street fight, I was expecting them to be, at least around the arena a little bit, not necessarily, out on the strip fighting each other around a bunch of, showgirls and shit. But
yeah,
at least make it a little bit more than what it was.
I just figured in Vegas they might have hit the strip a little bit. I just thought because it's Vegas, because it's Vegas. Like,
I think there's just too much liability for that these days.
Oh, we're going to talk about liability in a little bit, but yeah. But yeah, no, even in the stands a little bit, maybe over the barricade, do some stuff out in the arena, something where they used to do the spots with the tables that are protected underneath, like they're by the stage and stuff, like little stuff like that. I just feel like that would have been cool to see. But Vinny, your thoughts?
I have to agree that it could have been a little better in terms of the setting. This would have been a good spot for them to have the APA doing a poker game in the back, really put in the Vegas vibe and have it almost like in one of the old barroom brawls that the APA used to do. To at least incorporate Sin City Street Fight. Again, not going anywhere outside of the ring area. Hardcore matches and stuff, whatever it is, what it is. And but to call the Sin City Street Fight and really not incorporate anything Sin City. I mean, Drew winning what he did with the Claymore to the chair to the post. It looked like Damian Priest legitimately hurt his shoulder or something. So it was overall a good outcome, and the match could have been a little better in terms of what it was named.
Gotcha. No, those are all valid points. Mike, your thoughts on the match between Drew and Priest?
I mean, pretty much what everybody else said. I really agree with Vinny's last point that if they had not called it the Sin City Street Fight and just called it a no DQ match or something like that, then we would not have been as harsh on it, I guess. But when you call it a Sin City Street Fight, you expect more than just around the ring. But to that matter, the match itself, that aside, was really good. And Michael mentions it too. I was on their stream for most of the night too. And the Claymore with the chair, like you mentioned, that got a huge pop out of all three of us. All three of us like, holy shit. That was an amazing finish, an amazing ending to the match. Definitely puts a pin in it. So, I mean, to me, the match was good. And we'll talk about this a lot tonight, and just in WrestleMania overall, it just wasn't what we expected.
I agree with that. No, same. I think it was one of those things like, left me like wanting something more.
Yep. Awesome.
So we go in, stay with the gents. We go to the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker, Penta, Dom Mysterio, and Finn Balor. Great match. I really want to see Braun really complete all four of them and everyone come out in a mask, but apparently it was just those three. Great match, great spots, good stuff. We all knew this match was going to be great. The ending definitely put a bow on it. You get 619s, coup de grace, you get frog splashes, and Dom steals it here, man. Dom Mysterio pins Finn Balor. It is your new Intercontinental Champion. I'm not gonna lie here, I like it. I like it. Like, I'm here for it, man. I mean, the guy's got 100% better in the ring. Say what you want. He has. If you watched him from when he first came in, like the Judgment Day stuff, and like kind of just being like, he's good. He's gotten a lot better. And as they're putting the belt on him, Paul definitely sees that too. So I'm happy with it. It's a good. Not who I picked, but the match was great, and Dom winning is awesome. And I can't wait to see the fallout of Judgment Day tomorrow night. With that being said, I'm going to start with Matt. What are your thoughts?
I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic match. Penta looked like $1 million. You know, it wasn't really a whole lot of botches during the match itself.
Mm-hmm.
This was Dom's crowning moment right here. It's pretty cool that Dom and Ray became the first father-son duo to ever win their first Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. And Ray did it at WrestleMania 25. Dom did it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I like the respects he paid with his mask. I know it was kind of funny he couldn't get his mask off when he came out, but he was honoring his grandfather, Rey Mysterio Sr. So that was nice to see. Braun Breaker is going to be, on to better things. I think he's eventually going to be a main event guy. If you can make the argument that he's ready now, but they're going to run with this Finn and Dom thing. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, especially since they lost. Oh, it's going to be so good tomorrow night. I cannot wait. Vinny, your thoughts on Dom walking out, new IC champ?
I honestly think this is the best match of the night. In my opinion, I enjoyed it. We definitely got the under on Spears for the weekend. Brian did a few, but it's all right. You know what? It was a great match nonetheless, and I like how everything was. Finn Balor coming out looking like a banana. I saw somebody post Banana Balor on Twitter. But you know what? Either way, I enjoyed it. I liked the story they told with, Finn and Dom being both in there with the Judgment Day and Carlito coming out and, trying to kind of make peace. But at the end of the day, it was, Dom pinning Finn. And, I liked it. I think Dom has definitely deserved it, considering he has gotten so much better from the beginning of his WWE career. So much better character work, and he's finally found himself. Like, he's no longer just Ray's son. Now he's his own character. He's taken after Eddie Guerrero, but he's still incorporating his own personality into it. I can't say enough good things about Dom. But Braun Breaker, he's going to be main eventing WrestleMania next year, if not the year after, and he's going to the main title picture. And I would love to see Braun Breaker take that title off John Cena.
Yeah, Braun is definitely a freak, man. I mean, growing up looking at Uncle Scott, I mean, Jesus, like, how can you not be? Like, Jesus Christ.
And Scott's son is going to be coming in soon too. So,
yep, yeah, that's gonna tag team incoming. Like, let's go. Get Rick and Scott's kids together. Boom, automatic tag team. Awesome, Mike. What are your thoughts, man? What'd you think of the match?
So I love the match. Probably close. I would say this one and the triple threat we talked earlier, probably 1A, 1B for me for tonight.
Yep.
But the two things I'll mention. One, the spear across tables from Braun was amazing.
Mhm.
And if you heard the pop for Dom, we've talked about maybe Finn becoming the baby face out of this feud, with the implosion of the Judgment Day.
Mhm.
I think, and I don't think I know, because I'll bring this up in a second too. Dom is your baby face.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
I'm watching the post show right now, and you saw me. I don't know if you noticed. I started laughing while Matt was talking. They brought Dom out to the panel with Big E and all that. They are singing Dom's name like they do overseas.
Stop it.
Yeah, they have
They
been.
are singing Dirty Dom.
Mhm.
Oh man.
And they
I'm
are
here for
still
it.
singing now. He's been out there for 5 minutes or so, and they're still singing it.
I love it.
He
That's
has
awesome.
now become the baby face of this whole story. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's as much as I'm gonna hate Thursday night going on stream with Sped. I got to give that kid his flowers. He's definitely deserved it, and he's definitely turned it around. I mean, that was awesome.
Sped Rock can't wait. He can't wait. Certainly not least, Jesse. What are your thoughts on the 4-way for the IC belt? Donde? Jesse?
Match was good. It wasn't who I expected to win. I thought Finn was gonna win, but fatal 4-ways are always hard to pay attention to sometimes. So, but it was a good one. Braun Breaker spearing Carlito to death again was fucking hilarious. So that was great. But I mean, congratulations to Dom. I mean, he's finally getting, big recognition and getting a belt and good.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see what Dom's been doing, and it's just I agree with like Mike's. He's going to come out as a babyface here, and you saw the cheers. He held that thing up. People were popping, loved it. So it's gonna be awesome to see. And Finn's always a good bad guy anyway, so that's just gonna feed into what he does anyways. I'm pretty sure the demon at some point will come back out. But I was happy to see it. Good for this kid, and I'm happy to see what happens with him as the IC champion. So I'm pumped. Good to see it. And here we go. Randy Orton comes out. Listen, I need an opponent. Who wants to come out? Joe Hendry, the TNA champion, baby, comes out, answers the open challenge to Randy Orton. Love to see it. I ran a poll. Joe Hendry had the least amount of picks, and I was like, no. Someone should probably do a wellness check at AJ Francis, too, because he was like, I swear to God, if someone calls his effing name. Yeah, guess what? Joe Hendry.
I saw that.
Yeah, I literally, when it happened, I went, can we get a wellness check? I literally retweeted it. Obviously here, Joe takes the pin, which is okay. Doesn't make Joe, also, I mean, it kind of a squash, I guess, but it's also the TNA champion. Like, you can't really, that puts a lot on Orton if Orton takes a pin here. So it's okay. It's all in fun. Orton does the Hendry pose at the end. Hendry's fine here. He's okay. But like Joe said, I just wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania. That kind of elevates. Of course, the TNA championship is on Mania, right? At that stage, it's their partner. It's what they're trying to do is elevate them. So people are like, who the hell is this guy? What? The TNA championship now? Some people are like, oh my God, who's Joe Hendry? Boom, there you go. But yeah, I think it was good, man. They had a great time. I think Orton and him had an amazing time where they hit him with the second RKO. It was awesome. Matt, your thoughts on Joe Hendry answering the challenge for Orton?
I didn't like it.
Ooh.
I understand that it gives TNA the rub.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I guess I'm just old school and protect your champion at all costs.
Yeah.
And I understand the TNA partnership with WWE is going decent at this point. It's going better than, past partnerships that they've had on both sides. But Randy Orton just squashed another company's champion in about 6 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Orton's
No, I get it.
Orton's entrance was longer than the match. At least it felt like to me. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I like Joe Henry. I think Joe Henry's a good entertainer. But seeing them in the ring next to each other, Orton's a big dude, and Henry like he made him look like a little guy, not just presence and aura, but physically. So
Well, even like Randy even gave it to him because he goes for like the standing ovation, and Randy's like, "What are you doing? Do you see me? Get off me!"
right.
He, literally,
Right.
he addressed that right looking at him. I'm like, "Oh my god, what are we doing?"
But this was definitely a test run for Hendry to see how he would handle something like Mania, because let's just call a spade. When his contract is up, no matter when it's up, he's gonna be in WWE.
Oh yeah,
And
Uh-huh.
they did the same thing with Jordan Grace at her first Rumble when she was, when she came out 16 months ago, and the minute her contract was up, she's in NXT. So they're even though it's a partnership, this is a poaching partnership. No matter which way they spin it, the only ones that aren't up for grabs are the former WWE guys that are in TNA.
right. I agree. Vinny, your thoughts?
I liked it. I think WWE just gave TNA a much bigger rub than than they did the entire partnership they did with AEW. Just by having their world champion on WrestleMania to face Randy Orton. Yeah, and I get it. It was a 3-minute, 10-second match, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a squash match because Hendry did get in some offense, but they don't make wrestlers like Randy Orton anymore. Randy Orton's tall. He's built. Joe Hendry is kind of the prototype of today's wrestler. They're shorter, they're skinnier, they're just nondescript. And I like Joe Hendry. I think he got himself over in a very grassroots campaign. But it's nothing compared to Randy Orton. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It looked like Hendry was great. After getting pinned, he had a huge ass smile on his face. So it's I think it was good for TNA, good for Joe Hendry to just kind of get the rub, and it was a let me up moment. It was just a have fun kind of lighthearted thing. I wouldn't look too deep into squashing their world champ because it would have been the same thing had one of the previous like let's say if Ethan Page from NXT when he was NXT champion came up against Orton in WrestleMania, it would have pretty much been the same thing. And that's their own company. So I wouldn't. I liked it. I can't complain. I think it was a great lighthearted moment.
Awesome. Yeah, Stampede, I got to push back on this, man. Like normally, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It has nothing to do with that at all, in the least. I'm sorry. And usually you're 99.8% right, but I'm sorry. This was who's Joe Hendry, who's TNA. Oh, the world champion from TNA is at WrestleMania, going against Randy Orton. And obviously, it threw the big wrench going out. Kevin Owens going down. Everyone's looking around. They're like, what do we do? Oh, shit. Let's pull up Joe Hendry. Maybe showcase TNA a little bit here. But I got to respectfully disagree with that. I don't think it was anything to do with WWE. They're in a partnership. They would not, we're going to squash your champion. VCAM isn't here anymore. Paul did this for a reason to showcase their company and kind of show like what they can do and who this is. And hopefully the hits start coming for them on Thursday nights. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said, and I'll bring up another comment from Michael. Sometimes the moment is bigger than the match, and I think that's exactly what this was. Because if you go look, I guarantee you, yesterday the number of people that were watching, and again, it happened on a pre-show, so it wouldn't be on a big. The number of people that looked up AAA after they found out WWE bought them.
Yep,
I guarantee you, quadrupled.
They were trending.
The number of people tonight that would look up TNA, who's just a casual viewer. Like again, I go back to Herb and Raj, who we did the show with. I mean, they're texting me going, what's going on here? Who is this? So now somebody who never knew about TNA knows about TNA. And that helps TNA regardless of how long the match was, how good anything else was. Joe Hendry just got his litmus test for the WWE. If there was either any hesitation from Joe saying, well, I've already got something good in TNA, what if I need to stay? Or if there's any hesitation from WWE going, well, do we really want to sign this guy? How would he do? Both of those questions got answered tonight. And they were both a resounding yes.
Correct.
The pop he got when he came out, the reaction he got shows that he can hang there and that when he does get signed, he's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And it also shows him, do I want to go back and do a four show taping at TNA, or do I want to come be at NXT or WWE and get this kind of pop at a Stand and Deliver or a WrestleMania in a year or two? And the smile that man had on his face laying on the canvas after both RKOs, you could see it.
He's so happy.
Yeah.
The tweet was literally, I just wrestled Orton at WrestleMania. Like it was.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes wins and losses don't matter. And I think this is very much one of those times. And we're talking about this, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a soapbox, so I'll apologize ahead of time.
Go get him, baby. Go get him.
I got hammered for saying, no, you don't want to debut one of your other people and have them lose to Randy Orton.
Exactly.
And granted, they wouldn't have lost in a squash match, but you would have had the same reaction that goes, well, why did Rusev come debut just to lose to Randy Orton? Why did Alistair come and debut just to lose to Randy Orton?
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't hurt anybody.
Yep.
That's all I'll say. I'll jump off and let everybody else talk because I could do another 30 minutes talking about that. But yeah, I loved it.
No, you're right, because I was one of the ones not that hammered you, but saying that if it was Alistair or it was Rusev, obviously they have to win here. You can have them coming back here and taking an L to Orton, but it's Hendry, right? So now we're like, oh, it's a squad. It wouldn't happen, but y'all would have been mad if Orton took the L, right? Like you can't win here. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. The wins and losses don't matter at this point because it's obviously a little deeper than that as far as TNA, the championship, and Joe Hendry had a blast being there.
Yeah, the only other person it could have been, which Michael actually brought up on their stream of Kicking At It too, was if you had hit Matt Cardona, and because he could have come in and taken a loss, and just the pop for that music hitting, and everybody kind of remembering who he was, he wouldn't have needed to win either. So that would have been a possibility too. But Joe Hendry was perfect.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's not a matter of if, it's when, man. Cardona's going to come back, and when it happens, hopefully it's a stadium, because I'm telling you, the arena roof is going to blow off that place when Cardona comes down that ramp. It's going to be like, already, and it's going to play his new, and everyone's going to fucking lose their mind. Jesse, what are your thoughts on the match?
Damn this fucking delay. I can't their fucking shows up on Tuesday. This is driving me fucking crazy. No, it was a good match. I was happy for Joe Hendry getting a WrestleMania moment. I don't think him taking a loss is a bad thing at all. They're not going to have somebody else come in and go over Randy Orton. I think if it would have been somebody returning, along those lines, Orton would have lost this match. But with it being Joe Hendry, there's no way that they were going to let him win. But it was a good match. It was fun. It looked like Joe Hendry had fun.
Well, he was having a blast, man. It was great to see him out there. Man. He was the smile on his face. Man. He loved it. It was great for him to get that.
Not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, with as lackluster as the main event is that we'll talk about, that clip will be the most viewed YouTube clip of all of WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Agreed. I agree with that. Awesome. All right. So, Logan Paul, AJ Styles. It was a great match. I think it was good. Logan obviously showed up. AJ did a phenomenal job. And, of course, Karrion Kross made his presence felt at WrestleMania in the hometown, baby. You knew he wasn't going to show up. He was not going to show up in that arena. So obviously trying to help AJ, trying to be like, this is what you got to do. Just bring it to the other side. Knocks out Kross, takes the L to Logan with the power of the punch. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul walks out, and somewhere Stephanie Hypes is just very, very mad. Logan won this match. But I called it. I told you, Logan doesn't show up for the big fight, the big matches. It doesn't get dubs. But the way they did it made sense. It wasn't just Logan getting away. It was carrying, trying to help, AJ not listening, and then all that other stuff. So it wasn't like just. But Logan looked great as usual. AJ phenomenal, no pun intended. Looked great. But yeah, Logan Paul walks out. Mania winning again. Your thoughts, Vinny?
I like that. I mean, I like Logan Paul. I think the man is a superstar. He comes for the big fights, like you said. He doesn't, he said that he was going to be in full time. He's not. But you know what? He shows up for the big paydays. And you know what? He garners attention. Whether it's negative and a lot of people hate him, or, people can appreciate his athleticism. But I enjoyed it. I like how they tied in Karrion Kross with AJ Styles. That kind of added a different layer to the story, at least between AJ and Kross. So it made sense, AJ losing because he refused to go to the dark side. I enjoyed it. I have no problems with it. I liked it.
Awesome. Matt, what are your thoughts? Logan walking out with a W at WrestleMania.
That was a good match. The dude knows how to wrestle when it matters. I was kind of starting to worry about him a little bit because it seemed like his last couple matches he kind of phoned it in a little bit. Like it wasn't as fun for him anymore. And it was becoming more of a chore than anything else. But him and AJ put on a hell of a show. And I'm interested to see where the AJ and Karrion storyline goes after this. And I'm actually curious to see where Logan goes after this because Logan's racked up a couple impressive wins now. And is he, in line for a United States title shot again? Is he going to disappear for a little while? Is he going to get drafted to another brand? So I'm just, I liked it. I thought Logan's getting better every single big match. It seems like he gets better. So I really enjoyed that match.
So in the thought process of that, I think if we're going to do something here, if Logan, I just heard. Am I echoing?
Oh. We've entered. No, you're good. There's two Jessies now.
I'm trying to go on my phone instead because I'm trying to go on my phone instead because the fuck you.
Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, as far as Logan Paul, I think what's the next kind of elevation of that is going to be I think, I hate to say it, but Money in the Bank might be something that Logan gets because he comes and goes. And I hate to see him get that and take that away from someone in the back. I really do. But it's something where Logan can have that pop in, pop out, in, out. Maybe, I don't know. I really can't keep pushing Logan back and forth, back and back and back. Eventually, he's going to hold the world title. It's going to happen. Whether it be for 2, 3, 4, 5 months, he's going to do it. So maybe you give him the briefcase. And then, like you said, he's not full time, but he comes in, comes out, has the briefcase, can show up whenever. You kind of forget about it a little bit, and here he comes, boop, with the belt. With the briefcase for the belt. So I think that might be where we're going with this. But I guess we'll kind of see what happens with all that. Mike, your thoughts on the match?
Again, I liked it. I'm glad Karrion Kross got involved. I would have liked to have seen, I said the other day that I was hoping that Karrion Kross would actually help him cheat to win. He tried. Kind of one of those situations you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink kind of thing. I think that's going to be a lot of good story coming back going, well, if you'd have just listened to me, AJ, you'd have just done what I said, you wouldn't have lost.
Exactly.
And they'll get to carry on that story. I think it tells a really great story there. I think it's going to do a lot for both him and AJ because they're going to have a really good program coming out with a lot of really good matches, I think. And not for nothing, you mentioned what's next for Logan Paul. With those reactions Dom got tonight, you could very easily see a Dom Logan Paul match where Dom's the face and Logan Paul's the heel. If you really want to get people to start cheering Dom even more than they just did tonight, you want to keep that going. Put him in there with Logan Paul and let him go up against him, and that'll solidify that babyface right there. Kind of the same way you do, like if you're trying to turn somebody heel, you go have him take out R-Truth, where they're automatically going to get booed. But just the opposite for Logan Paul. You put him there with Logan Paul, they're going to get cheered regardless. So I think that would be a good spot for him coming out. But I enjoyed the match. I thought the story they told was really good, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here because it's more Karrion Kross on the screen.
I agree with that and all of it. Stampy has a great point too. When you go to flip scene, obviously he's going to go back to face before he gets out of here. The Money in the Bank win would make sense for Cena. Like, you know what, man, being the champion, and then here comes Logan Paul. And you're like, oh my god, and that kind of pushes Cena right over to being a face. That's actually a really good idea. So awesome, Stampy's kind of sharing a brain. Cool.
By the way, before we move on, you brought up R-Truth, and I was really thinking at the very beginning of the show when Ava, I can't remember her name, Ava Max sang the national anthem. I would have loved to see R-Truth come out and mistake that Ava for Rock's daughter Ava.
Stop it!
Almost like Bobby Heenan with Reba McEntire and Tito Santana's sister at WrestleMania 8. I would have loved that because R-Truth, that would be so in character for him.
I need a match versus Oba. What the hell? What are you talking about?
Yes.
Oh, that would have been awesome. Jesse, what are your thoughts on the match?
Logan can go, and that pisses me off. Just because I don't fucking like the guy.
You and everyone else, Mike, Stephanie, everybody, man, everyone hates it.
But he can go. Like, that kid can fucking wrestle. He's talented. He's stupidly talented. I did not expect him to go over AJ Styles at WrestleMania. But it was a good match all in all.
Awesome. No, I agree. It was a great match, man. Obviously, Styles is okay with taking an L here because obviously carrying that stuff, that's gonna be interesting to see where they go with those two. So that's cool to see. And obviously, anytime carrying's on TV, I'm here for it. Then we move into the Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez taking on Lyra and a mystery opponent. Turns out the man has come back around. Becky Lynch makes her return to WWE as the partner for Lyra, taking on those two women. Kind of made sense if you knew the Easter eggs and kind of remember from Liv way back claiming she retired Becky and put her on the shelf. So great match. Becky looks amazing physically and in the ring. Natalia was on CVV the other day talking about how she's actually been training. She's been training with her. Her and Becky have been training in the ring. So Becky looked awesome. Hits the manhandle slam. 1, 2, 3. New women's champs. Becky Lynch and Lyra 2 belts now. Yeah, I was good to see it, man. Great pop. It was awesome to see. Like I said, I was really worried. I'm like, I really hope Becky. She looked amazing. Like she hasn't even missed a step. Looked great in the ring. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts, man? Becky's back and she's a champ. Mike, I'll start with you.
So in a vacuum, just that match, it was good. I liked it. I don't like the fact of everything else that happened around it. I don't like Bayley being put in and then taken out. I don't like the fact that if you were going to do this, and I've heard somebody say, and Michael said that somebody had said that this has been the plan for a while. If it was, why not have Lyra drop the Intercontinental title to Bayley on Monday?
Right.
And then, or have Bayley get hurt during the tag team match instead of the day before. That way it's like, I fought valiantly. Now, and again, the story's not done. Who knows what they're going to do tomorrow night? But just, from what I've seen, that part of it just didn't make sense. But if I just take just the match itself, it was a good match. It's great to see Becky Lynch come back. It was great to see her get some revenge on Liv Morgan. But with everything else, it was more disappointing than I wanted it to be. Then the match itself should have been tonight.
So I agree with everything you just said, especially the Bayley stuff. I feel like this goes back to the Roxanne feud that was just killed for no reason. Now we're taking it out of a tag match. My thought process is the only thing I can think of, if we're going to go how far we're going to dive into the realism of everything. we go 4-horsewoman kind of thing, and Bailey comes back, looks at Becky, she's like, "Oh, you're just taking my place. Just come over here and just taking my spot. You've been gone, you come back, and I just win some titles." Maybe that builds a feud between the two of them, using the reality and using it into the wrestling. That's my kind of thought process. Where Bailey comes back and she's like, "Screw you," and Bailey goes heel here, obviously, but yeah, that's kind of what I think they might do with it, because it's not fair what they're doing to Bailey, man. It's not cool. Not cool in the least. The fact that she was on the card sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, it sucks what they did to Bailey. Like you said, if this was going to be the plan for a while, why not have her drop the title on Monday? That would have just made a lot more sense, instead of, fucking over Bailey, basically, is what they ended up doing. But it was a good match. I mean, Becky looked fantastic. I'm always happy to see Becky. She's one of my favorite of all time. So I always love watching her. So I never get bothered by seeing Becky in a match. But it was just the way it all went down was kind of shitty. Bailey definitely deserved her spot.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was awesome to have her come out. I mean, it kind of got leaked out a little bit that she was around. She's obviously there, like at the Hall of Fame. But it's funny. Pat's like, "Oh, there's Becky." And they didn't put the camera on her. And I feel like someone was like, "Pat, thanks, man. Way to go." But Stampede has a good point too. And we've talked about this. I know me, Mike, and Jesse have talked about. We talked about Lyra. Very underrated. If you ever watched her, a lot of the fan base sometimes doesn't watch NXT, which is wild. She's very underrated. Very good wrestler, and she showed that tonight. Has some great stuff in the ring with Becky. It does suck for her. And again, the Roxanne Bailey, I was very excited for that. I really thought that was gonna be something they were gonna go with. When they got rid of that, I was like, "Oh, damn, okay." Vinny, your thoughts on the match? New champs.
Honestly, I dozed off during this match. It was all right. I was expecting Becky to be the surprise partner for Lyra. I would have almost done it opposite. Had Lyra been the one getting hurt, getting jumped, and Bailey having to call her four horsewoman, partner to come back to be her tag partner, to win the titles. That way, at least you don't run into a situation with Lyra having two belts, and you have a little bit more with Bailey and Becky, because Bailey deserved to be there. Nothing against Lyra; she's a fantastic talent from what I've seen of her, and she deserves to have her flowers as well. But it could have been done a lot differently. And I have to echo the sentiment. Bailey deserved to get her time. The only thing I can think of is maybe they, didn't like that she has, gone and seen Mercedes on the other company shows, and just, who knows?
If it was a VKM thing, I would think. I don't think Paul's that petty. I don't.
No, I agree.
But I know what you're saying. No, it could be. I mean, obviously, anytime that she can do it, Mercedes is already taking advantage of calling out Becky to call me, come over to AEW, and I already saw the Becky All Elite shit going on, which is wild. But anyway, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when she comes back from her injury. Matt, what are your thoughts on the match?
I feel like when I heard Becky's music hit and she came out the doors, you kind of knew where it was going to go. You just didn't know how they were going to get there.
Yep.
My brother texted that to me, and he was like, "Becky's here. They're going to win the titles. Watch what I tell you." And I thought for some reason that they weren't going to have Judgment Day drop the tag titles while adding the Intercontinental Championship on the men's side in one night, but they did. I'm interested to see how they're going to carry Lyra with two titles now. I like the match, though. Those girls can work. There was a couple, missteps early on, and Becky was in the ring with Raquel during one of them, and the way she adjusted on the fly and her in-ring presence is unmatched. So It's nice to see Becky back in the ring. She adds something to the women's division. She might not be necessary to the overall women's division product when you look at all the talent they have, but she's a good work hand, and she knows that she's cool with her spot. She was gone for a year, and it's, it wasn't like they needed her, but she's back, and she's a tag team champion now. It's not like she came back into the spot that Charlotte was in.
I agree. When she came out, funny, I saw her jacket. I saw business. I swear to God, if her jacket says best for business, we're in for a swerve that none of us have seen coming for weeks. I was like, if that says best for business, holy shit.
I wish it would have at this point.
Dude, I was like, oh my God, I just blew the main event all up for me. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Like, this is wild. But yeah, no, I think it was a great match. Again, Bailey's been there a long time. She's earned her stripes. She's done a lot of shit. Goes down to NXT. I don't want to say she's okay with it, but I'm sure they're like, listen, we got to pull you, but here's what we're doing. I feel like that I talked about this a couple weeks ago on another show, where you show up and Vince is like, I wrote it up. That's it. Scrap it. Redo it. Paul sits down with you and goes, look, this is what it is. I'm sorry, but XYZ in 3 months, this is what the payoff is. And they go, oh shit. Okay, that's the vision. Okay, I'm here for it. I feel like they explain things to them. That's what Paul does. And the talent now knows whether or not running away to AEW or running to another company because they know, okay, I got pulled out, but in 3 months, I'm going to be a champ. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be involved in a major angle. So I think that's what's going to happen, hopefully. But I love Bailey, man. She's amazing. And I just hope they're not doing her dirty because that sucks. It sucks if that's what happens.
And I would rather this had been the plan for a while and Bailey know about it than to spring it on her last second like that. Hopefully this has been the plan for months. And Bailey was in on it. Like, she knew what was going to happen. That makes it a little bit better. I still would have rather seen Bailey, but as long as she knew about it and she was kind of like, okay, well, this is what's going to happen, and not them telling her Friday night that, oh, hey, by the way, after you win this, we're going to take you out tomorrow and we're going to insert a mystery partner or something.
That's why I think it's going to be that something like that 4 horsewoman angle where Bailey comes back and she's like, oh, that's cute. Look at you coming in, getting the belt after I'm injured. That's cute. And kind of maybe those two segueing down the road. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, John. I was waiting for you to finish. I was just, respectfully put my hand up for a turn, school manners and shit. But I'm going to build off of what Mike said. Because if this was a Friday night decision, I think that it would have been reported because a lot of these dirt sheets would have picked up on that. Somebody would have let that loose somewhere, whether it had been, Fightful or, Meltzer or Alvarez or anybody. I think it was probably the plan for the longest time because Bailey is a professional at the end of the day and she's a consummate professional. So I'm sure Bailey knew this was coming and she's never been one to fight the funk, so to speak. She's always been a company woman for the WWE. So I'm, just to kind of, round out what Mike was saying, I think it might have been the plan all along to where Bailey was putting in the work and building up for her friend, and they can make a storyline of it, like you said, John, with the 4 horsewomen. That's there's a couple different ways they can go with this.
Yeah, and that's what I mean too. I took a look at obviously when we do this, I take a look at stuff like the dirt sheets of who's reporting what. It didn't come from Fightful. It didn't come from Sap. It didn't come from anybody like Alvarez. Nope. And the only people are saying they're doing them dirty and that people are sympathetic backstage are just other whether you're not a fan of WWE or just people trying to stir the pot and get engagement. I don't know, but not like that would have been something Sap would have been the first one to be like, oh my God, dissension backstage. Like this shit's going on. This is wild. That's where I kind of go off of that. Everything I'm seeing the all elite stuff. And that's cute. I get it. I would hope to have Bailey in my promotion too. Bailey is amazing at what she does. But again, I think with this 3 years ago, Vince, I get it. But with Paul, I don't think that's the case. Jesse, what are your thoughts on the match?
I thought it was a good match. Like I said, it was good to see Becky back. It's interesting that they threw her right into a tag team picture right out the gate. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out going forward with the Bailey thing.
All right, awesome. Vinny, did you already go?
Yeah.
I'm all screwed up. I'm sorry. I'm getting out of tangent on Bailey. I'm like, shit. All right, awesome. So, and then we have, I don't want to go into too much of this stuff. Like Matt just sent me something. So like, I actually, this person follows me on Twitter. So Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hits. And I'm like, this is how we're starting the main event. Holy shit. Like Austin's coming out for this. Wow. Austin was on the ATV flying around. God knows he probably had a couple beers already tonight. slams into the barrier wall, clearly denting it. Obviously not planned. He hit. It's a Twitter streamer. She's good friends with Stephanie Hypes. Actually, I already messaged Stephanie to see if she's okay. She's good friends with her. Yeah. So he hit somebody with his ATV through the wall. They got hurt. Nick Khan was obviously over there. That's all I'm going to talk about. I don't want to give it. I'm not going to sell it and talk all this stuff. What's going to happen? Blah 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 blah. It's a YouTube streamer. Unfortunately, ex streamer. It sucks. Hopefully she's okay. But it is what it is. Shit happens. So, but yeah, Stone Cold gets in, announces the attendance, does his whole thing. Everyone's drinking beers. Cool stuff to see him. Would have liked to see him involved in the main event, but I guess if this is the pop I get to have him come out, being around for WrestleMania weekend, I guess is what I'll take. But yeah, I guess your guys' thoughts on the segment real quick. I guess I'll go around. I'll start with Mike.
So I had a feeling, I even said it on the stream that I was on. I was like, he's got the Sean spot from last night. He's going to come out and just read the attendance. There's no way that they're doing this already, especially at that point, because it was so early. Like, and not for nothing, the show ended way early. But at this time, I was like, there's no way that this is part of the main event. That he's got to be just out here to read the attendance. And then, of course, everything else happened, which, I mean, I don't know. That's for other people to talk about. I saw him hit the wall. I didn't think about it. And then I saw him over there talking to somebody. So, I mean, that is what it is. Hopefully they're okay. Whoever that was.
She's put out a tweet. I'm fine. I'm okay. Talk later. That's all. So she's okay. Not seriously hurt. So that's good.
Yeah, that's the important thing, obviously.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent segment. It was Stone Cold. I liked when he started counting and they did the what chance. It was fun, but I mean, it is what it is. It was kind of the same thing with Sean coming out yesterday doing the attendance.
Awesome. Jesse, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was just a little filler. I mean, it's always good to see Stone Cold, but it was just a little filler.
Yeah. Absolutely. Vinny?
Same thing. I mean, it was a filler segment, get the pop for Austin. And I know there's already people out there that are on Twitter complaining, the stadium was only set up for 57,000 and they're saying 62 or whatever. Here's the deal with WWE numbers. They count everybody in the building, from all the fans who paid to all the comps, to all the popcorn vendors, to all the people backstage, security guards, and they might even count the mouse that's hanging under the bleachers. But the fact is that it's a number, they're physical people in the building, not just ticket paying customers. End of story. So there's no reason to get your panties in a twist because of that.
And nothing against you. No, I appreciate you explaining that. I appreciate that. I'm just so sick. I'm so sick, nauseating of this numbers and sellouts. I don't give a shit.
I don't.
It's a full arena. AEW has a full arena. WWE has a full arena. TNA's arena. Great. I don't give a shit.
Did anybody realistically think that Mania wasn't going to sell out?
Yeah, exactly.
No matter how
2
many
months ago, the prices were $500 for tickets. And first of all, I wish I had a credit card that had the no limit. I want the seats on the stage, by the way. That's fire.
Yeah.
I want stage seats, man. Because again, go what you want. We're gonna throw it out here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. AEW does WWE. WWE does AEW. Oh, look at how many tickets are available. They're not selling out. Yada yada yada. They're already doing it for double or nothing. Like, stop. People wait till the last day because when they sell their tickets and they go to StubHub, the ticket that was $400 is now $280 because people just want to get paid. Like, just let it go, man. Like, but I think there's a realistic thought of the prices being too high. And maybe not selling out. But I mean,
so not for nothing. I've got a friend of mine, EC, who was on our Stand and Deliver stream. He went to WrestleMania. He went to WrestleMania last year, and even though everybody's complaining about the prices, he said he paid less this year than he did last year to actually get in because he waits until then to go. He paid less this year to get in WrestleMania, Stand and Deliver. He was at both nights of WrestleMania. Paid less than he did last year to get to Philadelphia. So it completely makes sense what you were talking about.
I was up in the upper decks at Philly last year, and I paid $700 for both nights total, plus everything else. But I also got them right when they got on sale, and I was in the nosebleeds. So depending on where you were, I can understand this year being a little cheaper. I mean, Northeast is generally more expensive than, other places, even if it is, Las Vegas.
And that's what I'm saying too. So it's all context, right? Whatever it's Twitter, guys. It's social media.
I know.
Nobody has context to what they say. So when they say $8,000 for a ticket, it was probably the stage seat where you get all exclusive everything. Go in the back, probably sitting fucking catering. Like it's just like it has some context of the seat price, man. Like you said, Mike. I know prices were very reasonable for other seats, like front row and things like that, and the loge and everything. So, but yeah. I don't think there was ever a thought WrestleMania wouldn't sell out. It usually does every year, but good to see it, man. It was good to see Austin, man. A good feel-good moment. Always a feel-good moment to see Austin out there. He looked great, by the way. Looks good. He looked great at the induction with him and Brett. And shout out to him and Brett, man, getting the immortal moment. Those busts are fire. The two heads in the half, fire.
Yeah.
I hope they keep doing that moving down the road. Rock and Hogan is probably the next immortal moment, only because it's Hogan immortal. Well, it makes sense.
It depends on if they can get them both at the same place at the same time with their schedules.
Yeah, then you got to think: do you want Hogan getting his ass booed out of whatever stadium you put him in? That's the problem. Unfortunately, nothing against Hogan, nothing. But it's
Hogan's a douchebag. Let's just be frank about it.
Be real.
Hogan's like one of the worst human beings in wrestling. Period.
Okay. Hey, guys. Hey, stop it. I saw Vinny's face. I saw it like Twitter. No, Vinny. Oh, Vinny.
Vinny's getting ready to crash out.
Whatever the thoughts are, I hope at some point they're able to do that and just do something like that with the immortal stuff. So, with that being said, we come to what we've been waiting for weeks, ever since this happened with Cena in the turn. We have John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Championship. This one I'll take a couple minutes. I want to talk about the match. Before we talk about the finish and all this other stuff, what are your guys' thoughts on the pace? A lot of people are saying Cody had to slow down because Cena's old. I'm saying Cena was going old school heel and just drawing it out, teaching Cody a lesson, beating his ass. What are you guys' thoughts on just as far as the pace and everything, how the match was working until we got to the finish? What are your guys' thoughts? Mike, I'll start with you.
So I could see that because even like when he was doing the 5 moves of doom, he would hit like one shoulder tackle and then just kind of walk to the side and like, okay, and then wait and then another shoulder tackle. I'm like, he did that the entire match. Now, whether they planned it that way because Cena's not as quick as he used to be, obviously, that's one thing. You can definitely tell that was a deliberate style that he was trying to play all night. So, yeah, I don't think it was something that Cody had to do on the fly. They may have planned it out that way, but I definitely think it was a choice on the night to have that kind of style for him. Awesome.
Matt, your thoughts?
I agree with Mike. I think it was a deliberate type of situation to draw it out. It was kind of a slow build to the ending that everybody's been anticipating for 2 months. So they both did a fantastic job. A couple of false finishes, some slowed down spots deliberately. I didn't mind it. I thought it added to the element of the match itself.
Yeah, Steve was definitely out here trying to get like that heat. That's why he was doing it. I was like, okay, people are getting pissed because it's 1, slow, 2, being so deliberate. I liked it. Vinny, your thoughts on the style of the match?
I agree. I think it was more of a deliberate pace, especially when he was doing a lot more wrestling moves, the punches, the kicks,
the power moves almost.
Right. Not anything too fast or it's too showy. I think it was more of a deliberate heel pace, not giving the fans what they wanted, which has been the whole story this time of, you get nothing. So, he basically went slower than normal because he wanted to punish the fans. I think it was just deliberate.
No, I agree with that. Jesse, what are your thoughts on the match and the pace?
Yeah, it was definitely a slower pace. I did notice that. I was kind of sitting there like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why are they moving so goddamn slowly? Like, this match they didn't seem to have chemistry either. That's another thing that kind of bothered me about the match is they just didn't seem to work well together. And I don't know if that was intentional or what. It was just kind of like meh.
Yeah, I think it was intentional. It's supposed to be Cody's the fast running. I'm hitting Cody cutters. I'm hitting this. I'm hitting that. And Cena's like, no, stop. Now you're gonna wait. You'll go on my time. And Vinny hit the nail on the head. If you've been watching this story since we started this, John's doing the whole. All right, yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. It's John just being a dick and just riding the match the whole way. But yeah, I just think it was definitely deliberate because those guys have, I mean, they probably practiced for months. They're good to go. It was him. Cody's trying to get all offensive and go. Nah, kid, calm down. Stop. You're gonna do it my time. This is how we're gonna do this. So, so with that being said, obviously Travis Scott makes his way to the ring, rockless. Wild to me that Rock did not show up for Mania. The other rumors were out there. We all talked about it. You couldn't take
That's ridiculous
20 minutes to show up at Mania for the storyline you started. Jesus, like, dude, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, get back on the jet and go to Nicaragua, wherever you're filming your next movie. 20 minutes to go down to the ring. You send Travis Scott, who comes down. They pull out the ref. All the nefarious stuff happens. Crossroads, count to 35. Thoughts again before we get the thoughts on Travis. I think I know what this is. We're gonna go quick. Thoughts on Travis Scott being involved in this match. Matt, I'm gonna start with you.
It was awful.
It's
Like if you're not gonna have The Rock come out for any of this, and there's not gonna the reason why I thought they left an hour from that 10 to 11 time slot for the main event is I thought we were gonna get The Rock. I thought we were gonna get Travis Scott. I thought we were gonna get somebody to help Cena, or I'm sorry, Cody. You know, I thought that they could have made it convoluted and that would have been okay. But Travis Scott adds nothing to this feud. It's cool that he took the Crossroads. He's a scrawny little dorky looking dude with his own title, like the custom.
It's like the old school like Universal like beat up to the hardcore belt.
Yeah. I mean, it was a gift.
Definitely a custom, but
it was a gift from the company. But it's like, come on, man, Travis. Like, if The Rock doesn't come out, this whole thing makes no sense to me at all. And that just like put the cherry on top of the what the fuck Sunday for me. Excuse my language.
Do we get Rock tomorrow night?
No.
If we get The Rock tomorrow night and we didn't get him tonight, I'm gonna be pissed.
So Triple H at the press conference said, "Guys, you gotta tune in. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be long." So I've been saying this. This is the one time Netflix is gonna be like, "Yo, let's use the whole 3 hours," or WWE should say. It goes, "We're going to the 3 hours." Netflix. We're using the whole 3 this time. I don't know. Maybe we get Rock tomorrow night. I don't know. But I would say the same thing. Like you showed up for Raw, but not Mania. That's weird. Vinny, your thoughts on Travis Scott interjecting himself into the Cena Cody match?
I hated it. I mean, I hate the fact that he's using Cactus Jack too. I mean, I hope Mick Foley's getting some kind of royalties from that too. Because when when I heard about the Cactus Jack and WWE stuff, it's like, oh, Mick Foley's got new merch. Like, no, it's Travis Scott. That's my personal. But either way, I didn't like it. I think it was just misplaced. And Roger Gary put out a tweet: "No Rock. Hey, Dwayne, you're in or you're out. And when you're out, and when you're out, you fuck shit up. Stay away unless you're committing." And that's the whole point. Is that that's why I said that the Cena turn had nothing on Hogan's turn at Bash in the Beach. Hogan was committed to the NWO. Rocket is not committed and was probably never committed to this WrestleMania angle. The rumors were out there that he wasn't going to be there, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll be there," or whatever. Even if it was something else, I saw this whole thing come out, being put out that it was going to end up being Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, Rock, Cena, and Travis Scott in a group. I'm like, I don't think that's happening. I would highly doubt that, and I was proved right. It was good seeing Cody give him the Crossroads. I mean, it literally killed him, or figuratively killed him. Excuse me. But he finally got the receipt for busting Cody's eardrum at Elimination Chamber, but it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. And I like what Stampede said. Cody overcame 3/4 of the alumni section last year to beat Roman, but it's like because Travis Scott comes out to distract them, he loses to Cena. That's all it was.
All right. Good points there. I agree with a lot of that. Jesse, what are your thoughts on Travis Scott making his way down to the ring during the championship match?
Stupid.
Okay. Silly.
In the words of Randy Orton, stupid. Stupid. I mean, he's not a wrestler, like everybody said. If The Rock wasn't going to come around, then what's the fucking point in having Travis Scott around? It's just he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Mike, I'm gonna end it with you. What are your thoughts, man? How do you feel it went down? How did it add anything to the match for you?
I hated it, but I think that was on purpose.
Uh-huh.
I hear what everybody's saying.
No, you're right.
And I feel the exact same way everybody's saying. But since this started, John Cena has said, I'm not giving you what you want. I'm not giving you a new theme. I'm not giving you a new entrance. I'm not giving you new moves. I'm not giving you new merch. Everything you're asking for, I'm not giving it to you. We have been talking about this big cinematic ending from last year. We have built this up so much. We wanted The Rock. We wanted this. We wanted a third man. We wanted Seth Rollins. We wanted Paul Heyman. We built that up. And I guarantee you, and I said I can't guarantee it, but that could have very well been the point that John Cena's been talking about. Shame on you, fans. Shame on us. On me, too, because I did it, too. I said on our stream that was the most lackluster thing in the world, and it was. But very well could have been the point, because that's what John Cena's been saying the whole time. We just don't listen.
Exactly. You want what? You get nothing. Sir, you get nothing. You'll like it.
I thought it would have been even better if The Rock would have come out right before the title card came out, no music, no nothing, and just stood there with it.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
knowing he was in the building.
Yep.
And just standing there going, yeah, I wasn't doing that. I didn't need to. I wanted to give you exactly what you didn't want.
I agree.
And that just it fits the entire character he's had since the turn. It just does.
As far as The Rock being on Raw tomorrow, maybe Mike's right. Maybe he is on Memorex or Delay, whatever. I'll take either one. So as you guys said, obviously we take care of Travis Scott. He gets his receipt from Cody, and Cena told Cody, he goes, "You're gonna have to choose: do what's right or win." Cody wouldn't hit him with the belt. Cena's begging, "No, don't do it." Gets a nut shot for his troubles. It's 1, 2, 3, baby. Hits him with the belt. That's it. It's over. We have a new champion, guys. John Cena is the 17-time certifiable GOAT of WWE, guys. Cody is now an ex-champion. We're moving forward the rest of this year, and the last time is now with heel Cena as your champion over on SmackDown as the undisputed with the undisputed championship. What are your guys' thoughts as far as the outcome, and what do you see as far as maybe backlash and what's coming up next for John Cena? Vinny, I'll start with you.
I'm happy Cena got 17. He's been a lifer of WWE, take away the current character and everything. And I'm glad he finally went heel but regardless of the flaws of the situation, I'm happy he got it. I liked what they were saying on commentary, because Wade Barrett was going off on Cena during the entire time, saying he doesn't deserve it and everything. And Michael Cole said, listen, Ric Flair got to 16 times, and he was the dirtiest player in the game. So
not being a nice guy, exactly.
Right, not being a nice guy. So it works, that Cena needed to be a bad guy. He needed to, be a dirty player and take the shortcuts and everything. I'm happy for him. He's a certified first ballot Hall of Famer. So, regardless, I didn't mind him winning. And the money's in the chase. Cody is much better chasing the title than holding it, and that's all there is to it.
No, I can agree with that. Mike, seeing as your new champion, what's up next for the champ?
More of the same. I mean, I'll echo kind of everything what I said. Talking about the other. I love the fact that he won it the way he did. Yeah, it kind of mirrors Ric Flair being the dirtiest player, but you know what? It fits John Cena's character. Exactly like you said. He sat there and said, "You've got the title, Cody. Here's your chance. You can listen to these people and not do it and do the right thing, or you can hit me and you can win." The exact same story he's been telling the entire time played out in front of our eyes. And we don't like it because we didn't like the outcome, because we don't like how we thought it would go. But that's exactly the way it should have happened, to be completely honest, if you follow the story. Like it or not.
Tell me what I'm telling lies.
So yeah, I mean it's one of those things. And I guess now he's gonna go home because he's done everything else he said he was gonna do. He said he was gonna take the belt and go home. So I guess he'll say something on the McAfee show tomorrow because he's supposed to be there doing an interview. We'll find out what's going to happen there. He may just take it after that and go home.
Yeah, it's like 12:15 or something like that. He's supposed to be on, so it's going to be interesting to see that tomorrow. But yeah, it was. I quoted Vinny knows the quote. Whether you like it or you don't, it's the best thing going today, baby. That's exactly the quote I put up with Cena holding the belt, man. But yeah, Jesse, your thoughts on John Cena being the Undisputed Champion and where we go from here?
I'm totally okay with John Cena winning the championship. I mean, it's his last run. He deserves to have one last run with the title. How it happened was not necessarily the greatest way that it could have happened, but it still makes sense in the grand scheme of things. It'll be interesting to see who they put up against him next, for sure, because I don't think they're going to run it back for Cody right away. I think they're going to give him somebody else.
Yeah, my thought process has always been, and I picked John in all the prediction shows, and as soon as this all happened, I feel like this is the one time, not to go off on a whole tangent, but like all this time, John's been a face for so long, just taking on heels time after time, being the good guy. We run this back against Orton. We run it back against Punk. Hell, you even want to put him against Roman. Now Cena's the heel. And now you get a whole different aspect of everything. And Cody, you bring up a good point. Cody can't jump back because now, if we do see something from The Rocks, from whoever, maybe Travis Scott being the messenger, I don't know. Now Cody needs to fight his way through all this other crap, come up and rise against it, finally get his shot back at Cena. And that's going to take up Cody's time to whether it gets the SummerSlam or Survivor Series. I think Cody's got to fight the good fight and climb the ladder to earn his shot back at John. But I think John runs down the gauntlet of just taking on all these faces now. Of all the people who have been, oh my God, they're heels. Now they're all faces. And now we get to cute little bows on a lot of rivalries we've seen for so long. And now we've seen one last time John kind of have like the last say and how it all goes down in the with their rivalries. Matt, bring us home, man. What are your thoughts? John Cena's a champion. What's going on moving forward?
I like it. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the finish. The Rock not showing up has kind of left a sour taste in my mouth from the Rumble turn, unless they're playing the long game and they're stringing us along and emotionally pulling us by the heartstrings. But I don't want them. I kind of agree with Jesse. I don't want them to run Cena and John back. They might have a chemistry issue. I would like to see them kind of mess with Cody a little bit, and when the draft comes, draft him to Raw.
Ooh.
To get him out of the way for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
He can kind of chase after Jay, or try to fight his way back to SmackDown, and stretch that out over the summer and into the fall. But I want to see eventually Cena and Orton go at it one more time. Get another Cena and Styles match in there. Another Cena and Rollins possibly.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of Styles. Shit, I didn't think of Styles. That's right.
Tie some things up. He's not going to do the face thing where he does the open challenger week after week.
No,
but Drew just had a pretty big win over Damian. If he gets drafted over to SmackDown, let him kind of. Let's get some matches that we either haven't seen in a while or we might never see again.
Mm-hmm.
And let Cena kind of ride this heel run out. They got to make this shit with The Rock make sense because Travis Scott wasn't it. Just make this shit with The Rock.
Yeah.
I'll never complain about this shit again if you make it make sense. But
Right.
Right now it doesn't. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Cena's heel run. Are we going to get the old spinner belt back for a limited time?
Well, no, because that would give the fans what they want. You don't want them to get their toy belts. Nope. No.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, WWE is a business, so storyline might take a backseat to a business model eventually.
You'll come out with it and just drop it in the trash. Just like you thought.
I liked it though. I thought it was naturally going to happen after the way he fought from the Rumble through the Chamber to now. Cody can kind of reset, and he's been grinding for the last 380 days, man. He's been fantastic in terms of just being a present champion on both brands, all the live events, all the media appearances. You know, this is a deserved break for him in the loss.
That's what I was saying too when they put the stats up. I mean, their first time as a champion, 384 days, 9 title defenses. That's a damn good first run. There's nothing you can't hang your head on that or just be like, oh man, like that was an awesome first run. It's not gonna be the first time Cody touches that belt or any belt for that matter, as far as world championship anytime soon. So he's gonna be a champion again, have another great, awesome run. But this needed to happen with Cena. I know we're talking about The Rock tomorrow, but that's right. Now they do the SmackDown after Mania, so we probably get him on Friday night, if anything, to boost the ratings over there for USA. But yeah,
Matt mentioned Drew McIntyre. I actually think that would be a perfect opponent for Cody next, because he could have that same heelish character come out saying, "Well, at least one of us won at WrestleMania," and just being that dick that McIntyre's been.
That's a good point.
And that would be a great first opponent for Cody.
That's a good call. I like that. That's good.
I can see that happening. That's a good call, Mike.
And it makes sense, obviously, seeing being on SmackDown. Like I said, you run back with the Roman and all that other stuff. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think they have a lot of good stuff planned up for the summer. It's going to be fun to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess before we get out of here, guys, I know it's been a little long-winded. I don't want to keep you guys too late. I'll just go around the room. Night 1, night 2. What's your overall grade, guys, for WrestleMania 2025? Mike, I'm going to start with you.
Overall, I enjoyed night 2 a lot better than night 1. And I know we kind of talked about it before we went on air. Matt mentioned it, especially if you had put the main event from night 1 on night 2, I think it would have been an extremely great pay-per-view or PLE. But as it is, I mean, both nights were good. Night 1, the main event carried, and night 2, the main event drug it down. So overall, I thought it was a good WrestleMania. I enjoyed both nights overall. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Awesome. Vinny?
I'd probably give it a solid B in terms of a grade. I agree with the sentiment. Putting last night's main event on tonight's show would have made a great PLE. It was definitely far from the worst WrestleMania of all time. I know some people are out there saying that, but I would give it a 7 out of 10 total. I think there were a couple things that killed it. There was the long extended build between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania, because WrestleMania was 2 weeks later than normal. But also the fact that they sabotaged themselves by really loading up the Netflix debut, by putting the Punk Rollins match, the match for the Ulafala with Roman and Solo on there instead of Mania. They sabotaged themselves. I mean, Roman was still in a great match, main event match, but Solo was nowhere to be found tonight, on either night. So outside of just walking in with Jacob just to the stage. So they could have done a better job of that, and they didn't have to really make the Netflix debut bigger than WrestleMania.
Awesome. I think that had a little bit to do with Netflix too. Like they obviously want to see their product.
Agreed.
But no, I know what you're saying though. They could have been like, listen, this is kind of what we say for like WrestleMania, but they need to also feed Netflix a little bit. So no, I agree with that. It definitely could have something to do with it. Jesse, your thoughts on WrestleMania night 1 and 2?
I preferred night 1 over night 2, to be honest. So I'm in the minority on that one. But I'll give it overall a B for sure. It was a pretty decent one, but it wasn't perfect. There was a lot of things that definitely brought the grade down and brought the quality of the pay-per-view or PLEs down. But overall, it was a B.
Awesome. All right. What are your thoughts, Matt? What are you giving it for a grade? Night 1 and 2 of Mania, man.
Night 1 was definitely better than night 2 for me, and that's
Mhm.
shocking considering if you look at it on paper before the weekend got here, like night 2 was loaded up in terms of star power compared to night 1, just from top to bottom. Not just the main events, but top to bottom. Night 2 should have blew it away, but when you look at night 1's main event, the expectation for the main event for night 2, in my opinion, went through the roof, and they under delivered tonight on that. So it brought it down from an A to a B for me. I believe that they strapped the rocket to both of their mid card champions on the men's side. Jacob Fatu and Dominic are going to be megastars in their own right in the next couple of years, and I think that they're putting the mid card titles on 2 of the perfect guys for this. And we've talked about that the last couple of nights throughout the course of both shows. But I think it was a solid B. The Rock really would have made it an A just for storyline purposes. Yeah, I mean Becky coming back was cool, but the opener of tonight could have main evented tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You know, you arguably your best overall match of the night was your opener, and you know, I personally think that they could have done some things better, but it wasn't as bad as the internet wrestling community is making it seem. And everybody's got an opinion, just like everybody on the screen has an opinion. They're never going to be right. It's not all based on fact, but I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. It made it even better that I got to come on here the last 2 nights and talk to you guys about it collectively.
Awesome. Hey, listen, Lady Alpha, just because you're first doesn't make you a lousy judge. Like, if you liked it. It's all good. Then you kind of have the bar.
I would argue in a lot of ways that makes you a better judge because you don't have a lot of this preconceived stuff that we have.
You're not jaded by a bunch of the bullshit.
Exactly.
You're a new fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm going to say before we kind of wrap this up is and Mike's in the comments, and I know he's watching. So Mike says it a lot too. I know the run-in, they pride themselves on being a space like this. So listen, you hit the nail on the head, Matt. Everyone has an opinion, okay? If you didn't like it, you didn't like it. If you don't like watching something else, it's such a great time to be a wrestling fan. Whatever you don't like, whatever you do like, it's a buffet. Just watch it and just enjoy it, man. Like that's all it is. Like just enjoy the product. It's such a good time. So many companies are flourishing right now. So many wrestlers out there, so much talent you get to watch pretty much 7 days a week on TV. But yeah, just enjoy it, man. Watch these guys enjoy. Go along for the ride. Go along for the ride.
You know, yeah, you're right. And the thing is, I want to say something about everybody on this panel. I respect everybody on here, regardless of our opinions or anything. And I know Mike in the comments has his own show as well. Putting your opinion out there for the public to consume is a daunting feat in itself, and building your own brand is definitely difficult. And for anybody to sit there and bash somebody else's opinion or say we're wrong, well, you come on and you grab a microphone and a camera and you do this yourself. I mean,
come on over.
This is not easy for any of us because we all have lives outside of this. We all have families outside of this, but we make ourselves vulnerable enough to get in front of a camera and give our opinions on something that none of us have ever done in our life.
I could have said that any perfectly, Matt. And we're going to end it with Stampede as usual. If anyone knows, me and Mike know he's on our shows a lot. Stampede is a connoisseur of worldwide wrestling. So when this man tells you that he has watched 100 matches, he's watched them, and to get out and go look around, guys. If you don't like it, go find something you do like. That's all that matters.
Yeah, if you don't
Awesome.
like WWE, take the money you're spending on Peacock. Go get Triller. There was a ton of independent wrestling on Triller TV.
So much.
Go get that
Oh my
subscription. If you want to see AEW, go get Max. Trust me, you can spend your money where you want to, and you don't need to where you don't like it. That you could watch what you want. There's no shame in any of it. So just enjoy wrestling, guys. I mean, that's what we're here for.
That's it, baby.
Yep.
Awesome. So, guys, it's been a long weekend, and I know it's been a long week for all of us. I know Mike was doing something every day this week. Did some watch-alongs. I did something pretty much every night this week with NXT. Everything. Jesse was with me. Mike was with me. Matt was as well. It's been a hell of a weekend. That's why we play the game, guys. And it's not over yet. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But let's go around the room real quick for those of you that don't know where to find any of you. Vinny, I'll start. Where can we find you on the socials?
At Vinny Suds on both Twix and Facebook, at Suds Media as well. And suds-media.com for all of my podcasts come on there. Goes directly from the podcast feed and YouTube. Outside of that, I'll be live with 2 shows tomorrow night of General Hospital and Beyond the Gates. So
Awesome. Jesse, where can everyone find you when you're not with me on Mondays or Fridays, or I'm with you on Wednesdays? Where can everyone find you on the social?
At Just Skywalker 10 on X, or on the YouTube page at The Lowdown with Princess Skywalker and John Anthony.
Beautiful. Matt, where can people find you for baseball, football, anything that has to do down Bleeding Purple?
You guys can find me on the YouTube channel, We Bleed Purple Podcast. You can type it in the search bar at We Bleed Purple Pod. That's with myself and former Ravens, or retired Ravens, tight end and Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneer Daniel Wilcox, a really good friend of mine. I'm on Foul Ball Talk on the Pigtown Sports YouTube for all things Baltimore Orioles baseball. Will be live tomorrow night at 8:30 over on our channel to wrap up the last couple weeks in Orioles baseball. Kill me now. And you can find me on X at mtrigwbp. And thank you guys so much for having me on. I enjoy this immensely. You know, I get to be a wrestling nerd for a little bit.
I know it's tough when football season's around, but anytime WrestleMania comes around, you're one of the first guys I call. So it's
yeah, and it's always nice to hop on because you guys give me an outlet because I do love wrestling, but my audience isn't geared towards wrestling. So I appreciate you guys letting me come into your space and nerd out and throw my opinions around. It's much appreciated, more than you guys know.
No, appreciate it, man. No, always welcome here, man. Always 110%, man. Last and certainly, again, not least, Mike, where can everyone find you on social media?
You see it down there on my shoulder at _Big Mike 27 on pretty much all socials, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or you can search the Running Wrestling Podcast on YouTube as well. We are live every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, and you're right. This is day number 8 in a row that I've had this face on screen. So
yep.
Hopefully tomorrow night will be number 9 with the Raw rundown with you and Jess and whoever else joins in for the Raw after WrestleMania. Yeah, just catch us every chance you can. Matt, if you ever want to talk, shoot me a DM. You're more than welcome to come on the run-in on Thursday night if you're open on that night and can't come on with John or whatever. Not that I'm trying to steal you away from John, but if scheduling doesn't work out to come on with him, you're more than welcome on our show. Just let me know.
Right in front of me, Mike.
Absolutely.
You don't do a show on Thursday, so if that's the only night he can come on, he's more than welcome to join us. That's all.
Absolutely, of course.
Sorry, Jess. I tried to.
Soap operas, let me know.
Sharing.
I tried to do the thing, Jess, but I'm used to being underneath. I'm used to being on the bottom, so now I'm just pointing at you. So I guess helps also, but
right.
So yeah, it's kind of weird.
Mike's going for the hot tag. Awesome. So if you're checking me out, if you're watching this, obviously you probably follow me or one of these guys on the screen. Chair Shot Sports, anything, Monday through Friday, whether it's WWE, AEW on Wednesdays as the co-host with the Lowdown with Jesse B. Prediction shows, you name it, we do it. Interviews, it's all there. But the best way to find all of our content is to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell at the bottom so you don't miss anything. Mike alluded to it. Monday this week is maybe no different what we just did this past week, and probably more important. So moving forward, the Raw after Mania tomorrow night with the Raw rundown immediately following, probably 11:15 after on Netflix. A lot of stuff going on in NXT as well as CW. Their fall off from Stand and Deliver Wednesday. AEW is going to be fire. TNA, a lot of stuff going on building into the Rebellion pay-per-view. And obviously Friday night, the after Mania on SmackDown. Probably a later show, but we will be doing a SmackDown shakedown as far as all the appearances, debuts, and things going on over on Friday night. And then we just kind of parlay that into Rebellion, and the cycle just keeps going on and on and on and on. So awesome. But yeah, guys, thank you again all the time, man. I appreciate all of you guys coming on. It's been a hell of a weekend. And yeah, we are officially 365 days on the road to WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. So get some sleep before then, and I'm sure we all will. But yeah, guys, your opinions, I love all of you. Thank you for taking the time and coming on here. Yeah, so with that being said, for Jesse, for Matt, for Mike, for Vinny, I'm John Anthony. Guys, get some damn sleep. It's been fun. We'll see you guys on the Raw Rundown tomorrow night.